Mayday Parade.
Mayday Parade.
Gentlemen, as you know, we here at Mustached Men of America pride ourselves.
That's what
in
MMA
having
actually
only the
stands for.
finest,
Mustached
most
Men of America.
authentic mustache. As I see on display in front of me, Theodore, Marcel,
Man, I'm really regretting not shaving a mustache in now.
Harvey.
The thing is, I was like, oh, we
Have
could
some
just get
of
fake
the
mustaches,
finest.
but it didn't really work.
No, it doesn't. No.
However, it has come to my attention
This music video is already amazing.
that one of your mustaches is fake.
Oh, who could it be?
Now,
He's got the fake tash.
reasonable guy. I can be reasonable
hasn't got the
about
fake
this. This is what I'm going to do.
They all look very real to me.
I'm going to play you a band that rocks so hard.
That's such an inconvenient size speaker.
It's gonna blow that fake mustache right off of its face.
That's the premise of the video.
Uh-huh. We'll see.
It's actually a sponsored post, those speakers. Nice little bit of green screening. Oh! Hold up. That little dun, 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 sounded like, you know, at the start of Skater Boy.
It does, yeah. That's a very
sounds a lot
Skater Boy.
like that riff. Oh, I love that. That's proper summary. Let's go, Mayday.
So much different out of the rear view. From this angle in the back of your head, it looks a lot like somebody else. And I guess that I could go it alone, well, if I had to.
Question is this a breakup song or is it a relationship song?
It's a long way down for
'Cause
nothing.
I feel like it's a 50-50 chance of Mayday.
The side of your eyes got a side of my head. What is your
The speakergasm. Thing is, we were literally just talking about floral shirts, and here they are. Let's go. Hit pause on that, bro.
But I think there is a reason.
Good screenshot there. Solid screenshot.
Strong O face. I love that chorus.
Yeah, this is I've heard it, but I've listened to it
Have you?
previous to this.
See, I tried to keep my reaction neutral,
Yeah.
so when I stripped that clip, I turned the volume off.
Yeah, so I got the notification. I was like, oh, new Mayday. I couldn't help myself, John. Couldn't help myself. But yeah, this chorus it's one of my favorites, I think. Well, I mean, they've got so many bangers over the years, but this,
Dude,
I think
can't
for
wait.
they're a very consistent band, very
Yeah.
like consistently good at writing big choruses.
I can't wait to talk to Derek about the lineage of bangers that Mayday already have under their belt, because like genuinely,
Sausages? Well,
yeah, as a vegan, they're best not I'm eating them. And
that rhymes.
you're vegetarian as well, though, aren't they?
I am.
Yeah, there you go. Let's go. We don't murder things.
Yeah, V-gang.
Yeah,
as
the
they say.
gangsters.
Yeah. the lamest gang in the world.
Yeah, genuinely. Just
Oh, what are you going to do? Well, I'm not going to kill you because
Yeah.
against my philosophy.
Anna. However,
I'll just berate you online.
yeah, give you a good old lecture. Why are you order?
I'll send you some documentaries about veganism.
I can't remember why we stopped the video.
Chorus.
Chorus. We talk about the chorus. O faces, floral shirts, mustaches.
That's always going through your brain right
That's
now.
always going
Put it back on anyway.
Just O faces and mustaches.
And it's small. Remember how big it used to be. And I guess that I could go it alone, well, if I had to. But I keep thinking that I know it's a long way down for nothing. The side of your eyes got a side of my
Every time the chorus hits, I love the fact that it blows the pockets in the studio away.
It's a test, isn't it? To see whose mustache stays on. That's the whole point of the premise of the video. That's it. He's like, one of your mustaches is fake. Play the
I'm
song.
gonna blow it off
Yeah.
with the power of music.
Power of emo.
Brace yourself for the landing.
Man, like the good old fashioned pop punk bridge, when done right, is so undefeated. There's so many different formulas for writing a classic bridge, but when you've got a singer that's got a voice as strong as Derek's, like literally you can just have, like, even if that guitar wasn't there, that bridge or that middle eight.
We talked about it on the last show when you said if you're struggling for a last chorus, drop out and just have this chorus without the all the music.
Yeah.
But I think Mayday Parade do have doing that a lot of times. Oh, and they do it very well.
It's undefeated, and like whatever variation you want to do on it, whether it's just the vocalist and guitars, vocalist and piano, vocalist and synth, like it works. Especially when your lyrics
and if it ain't broke,
don't fix
me.
No, you gotta brace yourself for the landing. More like a
Oh no!
This is the twist.
One sec. Was that a little scream?
You know you gotta brace
like a sing scream.
For the landing.
It's like it's
That's quite
guttural.
heavy for Mayday. Let's go. Oh. Hell yeah. Now that's a real mustache. Man. That's a pure radio rock anthem, that is.
Yeah.
Man.
Lovely.
Hold up, is there an end storyline to this music video? Because I feel like we've just cut off 30 seconds. Hold up. How does the story end?
Did you not see the twist?
You're all fired.
Did you not see the twist?
What was the twist?
Turns out all the mustaches were fake.
Ah!
Not just one of them.
All of them.
They're all imposters.
Other than the mustache man himself, Derek, who will be joining us in about 6 minutes' time. My friends, that's the brand new Mayday Parade single, More Like a Crash. Hell of a fucking release from the boys.
Yeah. It's nice. Well, it's the first release since 2021.
Damn.
It's the last album.
Damn.
But we'll touch on this when he gets on the show. But I think it seems like their approach now is to do singles. You love a stand-up introduction.
I do love a stand-up introduction. It's because we are joined right now by a massive, massive guest. My friends, please show this show a lot of love and appreciation for Derek from Mayday Parade. Yeah!
It's a 2-man applause. Derek, are you there? Can we hear you?
Oh, we can see you, but we can't hear you. Oh.
Okay, I got you.
I
got you now. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. There we go.
Let's go, my friend. It's all good. It's all good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm here at our storage unit, and we're emptying out our unit that we haven't touched in like 8 years. And I just totally didn't look at the time, so I've been working, man.
Oh man!
I bet that's like going through memories of. Do you know when you go through like childhood,
like
boxes,
a picture book? Like that must be a picture book of Mayday Parade you've been going through.
Honestly, yeah, it is. We even have our like content person here to like film and take pictures because some of this stuff goes way back, and it's cool to go through and see. But it's hot here in Florida, and it's a lot of work for sure.
I imagine. Yeah.
Oh, damn! Which part of Florida are you in?
We're in Tallahassee.
Oh, let's go! Very nice. It feels a bit Florida-y here at the moment. Like it's not raining.
When you say Florida, it's about
like 12 degrees.
Yeah, which is about I don't know, 50 degrees.
We don't speak Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit.
But, that's interesting though that you're going through the old storage unit. What's the plans with it? Are you going to be like selling stuff off, auctioning stuff off, or is it just a declutter?
We don't really know, but we're kind of erring on the side of like get rid of stuff and just throw stuff away. The stuff that we can salvage and sell or donate, we're going to. But
Sick.
basically, and I apologize if I'm just talking way too much about this, but the storage units here in Tallahassee, I'm the only one who still lives in Tallahassee out of the band.
Oh wow.
So it all kind of falls on me after every tour to like sort all this stuff and pack it up. And the unit was just so full that it got to the point where I couldn't even fit everything in it and was having to take a lot of stuff to my house. And so we're getting ready to leave for this All-Time Low tour. And I was like, guys, we got to get together first and sort through this unit and get rid of stuff.
We got shit we need to throw away.
Right.
Oh, that's amazing, my friend. Well, we'll get on to the All-Time Low tour just a little bit later on in the show. But first, I wanted to kick this thing off. We'll get into the new single in a second. But the decision for the band to go independent, that's so interesting at this stage in your career. What was the movement like within the band? Was it like one person had the idea and it kind of influenced everyone else? Or was it just like everyone was like, nah, we agree, like this is the right move for Mayday?
It's something that we had talked about doing for a long time, for several years. And it was always kind of like, do we think we can do it? And we were always a little scared, and so it's hard to say when it started, but definitely going back at least, 5 or 6 years ago, we've kind of had the idea. And just always felt like maybe it would be too much. We'd bite off more than we could chew and we'd find it to be too difficult. But it's been great. It's been amazing. It's really just like, I guess we kind of feel like, we've the band and I guess it's almost like a business at this point is kind of like, a sustainable thing where it's like kind of like on tracks, and it's like we kind of like we feel like we can manage a lot of it ourselves, and we've had great relationships with all the labels we've been on, but it just seems like it's kind of like less and less needed, like we can put music out and people are gonna know that it's Mayday Parade and go listen to it, and so yeah, and we also kind of have like hired out some different marketing, creative teams and stuff to help out. And our manager, Josh Terry, is amazing and does a lot of hard work. So far it's been really great. I feel like the first single has done really well.
Hell yeah.
We'll see how it goes once we get on the road and start actually like playing this song live. We'll see what the reception is. But so far it's been really cool. I don't know for sure whether we'll continue down this route, in the future, or whether we'll try and do something different. But I'm at least like proud that we've been able to pull it off and do it for now.
I was going to say, it must be good to have more control over what you can put out, especially as you can like basically write a song, record it, and then get it out straight away. Because a lot of times,
no one's got to approve it. There's no meetings involved. Like,
so a lot of times you'll write something and it'll be like, oh, can't release this for another 6-8 months, sometimes a year. So it must be nice to just have that control back.
Yeah, for sure. That is a lot of it. Is just like knowing that we have complete, creative freedom. And, fortunately, that's kind of always been the case for the most part, other than the short stint that we were on Atlantic Records. Atlantic kind of had a heavy hand in what we were able to do. But, whenever we were on Fearless and ILG and Rise, like they all kind of let us, for the most part, do what we wanted to do. So it's definitely not like, any shade on them.
Yeah, it's not creative choice, is it?
Right. But it is nice to just kind of know that like, we don't, this is just our machine and we're able to do whatever we want with it.
And with the stepping away from the label and going more independent, was there like a band meeting where it's like, okay, you've now got this responsibility, you're looking after this, like socials is here, like songwriting's over here, merchandise is over here, like
assistant to the regional manager.
Yeah, like was there like right. delegation within the band being like, okay, let's start giving out some job titles now?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's kind of the case. I mean, it's a little bit loose. Everyone kind of dips their toes into each aspect of it, but there's certainly, like you said, Jake for a while has kind of handled our merch for the most part. Brooks has just in general, ever since the beginning of the band, been more of like the business side of things and kind of management side of things. And so we definitely kind of delegate tasks out a little bit. which is nice. You know, it's nice to kind of feel like everyone's pulling their weight and working hard and making this thing keep moving.
Hell yeah. That's awesome to hear. Well, like, we can't wait to watch this independence journey. And I mean, like, over here in the UK, I don't know if you've heard of a band called Enter Shikari.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they recently scored their first ever UK #1 album in the UK with their brand new record. And they're a band that have been completely independent their entire career. And to get a #1 in the UK charts as an independent team, it's a really fucking healthy sign for the music industry from the alternative sphere.
Oh man, yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, I love Enter Shikari, and I will always think of in 2009, whenever we were recording our second album, Anywhere But Here. David Bendith, who produced that album, he gave us a CD of a couple songs of theirs, and we would listen to it to and from the studio every day. It was like 4 songs off of.
Amazing.
Is it Common Dread?
Common Dreads, let's go.
Yeah, and we listen to it just like every day. So I always think of that whenever I hear Enter Shikari. But yeah, wonderful band.
Oh, that's awesome. What a fucking story, Derek. Thank you, sir.
There's been a lot of sort of. I remember probably one of the first times Jmtv went over to the States. I think they toured with you guys. And I remember seeing that, but like, because it's always nice when a band from over here that mainly just played in the UK first go over to the States, and they seem to like hit it off straight away. And I think it might have been like a tour with you, one of like the old AP tours or something, if you remember that.
Yeah, that was 2009 as well. It was us and the Academy is Yumi at 6, Set Your Goals, Secret Handshake, phenomenal tour. That was our first. Yeah, first time getting to know Yumi at 6, and we've had a great relationship with those guys ever since, and toured with them many times. Yeah. They're just some of the best dudes.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, if it's any consolation, man, Mayday Parade are known as some of the best dudes over here as well. You've got such a strong name about yourself. Like, you are one of those bands that everyone knows they're going to deliver when they go and see live. Like, you've got bangers for days live, and you keep churning out bangers as well. More Like a Crash has been out for a couple of weeks. On the start of today's show, we actually reacted to it.
We both debated whether we should start the show or come into the show with mustaches.
Just mustaches, because
shaved in.
Got a semi-decent facial hair going.
But it was a lot of effort for like a little bit, because I haven't seen my jawline for a good few years, so I don't know what it looks like these days. It's all hidden.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, it's been cool, and I know the video is pretty silly, but it's fun, and it's been so much fun It was fun to do the video and to put it out, see the reaction. It's been great.
And I gotta say, Derek, like, your ability to grow a mustache is very commendable, sir. Like, a lot of body, a lot of volume going on that mustache. Like, no patches kicking around. It was full growth, like big bush. Yes,
well, thank you. That's I feel like my beard is not great. My beard does get a little patchy, but the mustache comes in strong for sure.
I love that the premise of it is just we're gonna play this song to test which of your mustaches are fake. This is gonna blow your mustache. This song is so good, it's gonna blow your mustache off. I love that as a premise of a video.
Yeah, that's the press release done.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't even know. I came up with the idea for the video, and I don't even know where it came from. Just one day, it was like, well, we had talked about, if I'm being honest, I feel like a lot of our videos, they're tough. The music videos are tough, and you kind of have this idea in your head of what it's going to be. And a lot of times we'll try to do more serious ones, and most of the time they come across feeling cheesy and ridiculous. So we kind of felt like, let's just like lean into that do something that's silly and cheesy and ridiculous,
And it was perfect. Like, we've been reacting to quite a good few music videos since doing this show, and that's one of the strongest music videos that we've seen so far. And like, what I love as well is like, it's not overly complicated. It's not a massive budget. You don't have to like blow the bank on it. It's something that is entertaining, holds people attention, but also complements the song really nicely as well. Because obviously, like, it's almost like a heads or tails sometimes with Mayday Parade songs. It's like, is it a love song or is it a breakup song? Is it a happy one or is it a sad one? And like, I feel like if you're watching the music video and you walk in there with a mustache and the boys have got fake tashes on, it's like, this is going to be a happy one.
Nice. Yeah, well, I appreciate that a lot. I really do. That's actually, whenever we were shooting the video, I kind of had this doubt of like, am I insane? Like, is this just like the dumbest idea ever? You know, and I wasn't sure if it would translate and work with the song. But no, I appreciate you saying that.
Oh, hell yeah. There's no idea too dumb, my friend. Keep on exploring them. But I mean, if More Like a Crash is a sign of things to come musically from you guys, this is a very healthy position for your band to be in. And I mean, moving forward, like, are there plans to just keep on dropping like singles like this? Like, is it the case that you're just going one song at a time at the moment?
Yeah, for the time being, pretty much, I guess, the rest of this year. So we went in early this year and recorded a handful of songs, and we're just gonna kind of put out, before each tour or whatever it kind of makes sense, put out a new song, and then hopefully get back into the studio later this year, record a handful more, and then just kind of for now do that. I definitely think that we'll get in and do another full length at some point.
Yeah.
We'll just have to kind of see when that makes sense, but it's just tough, I mean, it's tough the way things are now. You go in and you record a full length, you got 12 songs, you put them out all at once, and then 2 weeks later, it kind of feels like, all right, like what's next, And
Yep.
so it seems like just so much to put out all at once, and when you kind of sprinkle songs out one at a time, perhaps they get a little more attention.
It was a strategy that sort of dance artists have been doing for a while. I think Calvin Harris doesn't put out albums anymore. He just does singles. And it works for him. It works for a lot of artists. I think on that side of the world, it's like, why can't that be a thing for a lot of other artists?
Yeah, I mean, it just makes a lot of sense, and part of it scares me a little because I love putting out a body of work that is an album. I feel like is important and kind of like almost the statement of like, this is our band right now. But I don't know. We'll have to just kind of see how it makes sense. And I'm sure it will happen at some point that maybe there's a world where we can kind of get away with doing both,
Well, speaking of full-length albums, Derek, your last one that came out 2 years ago, What It Means to Fall Apart, beautiful body of work. And like, there were so many different moments on that record that conjure so many different feelings. Like, some songs just make you want to hop in a car with the top down and just drive down a road whilst the sun is blasting on you. And then other songs like make you contemplate every life decision that you've ever made. And it's like, it's such a wonderful journey that you take us on, from a song like Kids all the way through to I Can't Do This Anymore. I mean, like, especially with that last song on the record ending on such like a vulnerable moment and an emotional moment as well. Like, and with the journey, like going into the independence as well, like, was that song, like, if it's not too much of an intense question, either like personal life based or was it work based? Because it kind of could be taken in two ways, where the journey of the band's gone on since that being your last full length song.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's a little bit of both, and not necessarily all in one world or the other, but just like kind of like, life can be overwhelming, and I'd say that it kind of touches into both the work side of things, the business side of things, and the personal side of things.
Hell yeah. And like the brutal honesty of just, I can't do this anymore. Like, everyone can relate to that kind of feeling of just being like, yeah, do you know what? That right there, that was my limit. I'm clocking off and I'm signing out now. I mean, like, when you're opening yourself up with songs like that, like, is it quite like a difficult process, especially with a band as well? Like, you're writing a song saying, like, I can't do this anymore. Like, you've got your brothers in the band there who are going to care about you and be worried about you if those are the lyrics that are being provided. Like, was it the case when that song first came out into practice, people was like, is everything all right? Or is this something that everyone's kind of feeling?
Yeah, I feel like, I guess, and maybe this is a bad way of saying it, but I feel like everyone's kind of like used to it at this point. You know what I mean? It's like we've written so many pretty like depressing songs, and very personal songs, and obviously we all kind of check in with each other and make sure everyone's good and everyone's happy, and we're all getting along fine. And but I feel like it's pretty common for a song to come in that's just like pretty heart-wrenching and super tragic and just kind of depressing, honestly. So at this point, it's kind of normal, I suppose.
Everyone's used to it. Everyone's used to the sad boy moments. I love it.
Is it true you guys
Right.
you guys all sort of grew up together, didn't you? Like before Mayday, like you just were mates, and then so you both basically grown up together. You've probably had the band for most of your lives now, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've known Brooks. I've known the longest since I was 12, and then the rest of the guys about when I was about 15, 16. And we all played in different bands together and went to shows together. And there was such a close knit local music scene in Tallahassee, and we were all a part of that. And we were raised in that. And I was 19 whenever we started the band, and I'm 30. I'm 36 now. It's been almost 18 years in this band, so it's been coming up on half of my life that I've been in this band. It's wild.
That's literally like raising a child. Like 18
Right.
years.
It's weird though because I'm 34, and this sort of mid 2000s to me in my head doesn't seem like that long ago, but it is like almost 20 years now. I'm like, God,
I know.
Where did all that time go?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Well, speaking of going back all those years, Derek, the first time I discovered your band was courtesy of the Punk Goes acoustic stuff with the acoustic version of 3 Cheers for 5 Years. And I mean, if we're talking about like emotional Mayday Parade songs, like that's possibly one of the most, if not a contender for the most emotional song that you've ever written. And obviously there's 2 different versions, the acoustic one and then the plugged in one. Do you have a preference of one playing live, or is there any standout moments of playing that emotional song live that have stuck in your head?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's crazy because that's the first song we ever wrote. And so we've played it at almost every single show we've ever played.
Wow.
I don't know. It's tough. I guess that I was going to say I like playing it full band more, but then I don't know, man. There's something about playing it on piano and having the crowd sing and just, the feeling of that's so amazing. What I always, get sort of drawn to, or what always kind of comes up for me when I think about that song is just the process of writing it and how amazing it was because like I said, we were all in different bands together and grew up together. And we had this idea of taking, 3 of the guys from this one band and 3 of the guys from this other band and coming together to form a group. But it was kind of controversial, I mean, it was like, we're going to be ditching some of our best friends to come together and do this thing. And so we had to have a secret band practice. It was kind of a trial run of like, let's just get these 6 guys together and jam and see what happens and see if this feels good. And at that first kind of trial run practice, we wrote 3 Cheers for 5 Years, and it felt so right, and it all just clicked. And it was such an amazing moment of like, because ever since I was, 10 years old, I've been playing music and trying to find, other people that were on the same page as me. And I met Brooks, and he was like the first person that was like, yes, like you and I are on the same page. Like, and we were always trying to find the other people to kind of fill out the band. And we're always rotating through different members. And that first Mayday practice, it just locked in right away and was like, this is it. And it was like, all of this work that we had done was finally kind of paying off. And it was just a magical moment. So I always think about that with that song.
That is such an awesome story.
Yeah. Do you still speak to any of the other members from the other bands?
I do actually. We're still all buds. There was a period of time where that wasn't the case. Whenever we left our old bands, there was a lot of bad blood and a lot of drama, and things nothing ever got to the point where it was like physical or anything. But there was, there was this big split, and some of our friend group went with those guys, and some, it was just this. There was so much drama, but. That's like I said, that was 18 years ago, and now things are all cool, and we're still close with all the old guys, and they've all gone on to do amazing things, and their lives are great. So it's no hard feelings.
So it had a happy ending then. That's good.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, they must have heard your music and been like, "Oh, fair enough."
Yeah, like no way, I couldn't rent 3 Cheers.
They are a bit better.
I
hope so, but yeah.
I can just imagine over the years, though, the amount of variations of that song you played on shows, like the amount of tears that must be left on dance room floors because of how many different people have seen that song played over the years. But hearing that being the origin story of it just makes it even more magical. That's amazing. And throw forward, 18 years down the line, and Mayday Parade is as strong as it's ever been. Just before we get out of here, Derek, we've actually just had, because this is the great thing about the show being live, people just coming in and just chatting to us whilst we're doing the stream. And Dr. Scott just got in touch to say, my first live show out of lockdown was Mayday Parade at Leeds Beckett Union. I already love them, but I was an emotional mess that night. Thank you, Derek and all.
Oh, tell him thank you. And we've played there a handful of times in Leeds. That's a great city.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be back through before too long. I miss going over there to the UK.
Hell yeah. Well, we miss you as well, but you don't have to wait too long to get back out on the road. Shows coming up this summer with Yellow Card and All Time Low, I believe.
That's correct. Yeah, it's going to be a busy summer. We're out there, man.
Yeah, Yellow Card are back.
Yeah,
They must be back for good now, because they had a little hiatus, didn't they?
Yeah, they're doing Slam Dunk as well.
They are doing Slam Dunk.
Doing Slam Dunk Festival. What's your set list looking like for this tour? Like, how hard is it when you look at all the singles that you've got to choose from?
It's very tough, but I guess it's almost easier for this because we don't ever do support tours. It's been the last time we supported an artist on tour was, I think, like 2016, and it was All Time Low. We've just been headlining forever. And so, this year we have a handful of support tours. So we're very excited about that. And it's maybe a little bit easier. It's a shorter set, which makes it tough, but it's also like, just play the bangers, just play the most popular songs. When it's a headline set and you kind of want to throw in some deep cuts and like switch things up a little bit, and you kind of want to make people that have come to see you several times happy by switching things out and playing songs they haven't heard live. But when you figure it's a support tour and most of these folks are going to be here to see Yellow Card and All Time Low, so just play the most popular songs and kind of win some people over, hopefully. And that's the plan.
Amazing. Well, we know you won't struggle to do that in the slightest, Derek. Thank you ever so much for taking the time out of your day to come and join us. We'll let you get back to your storage unit, and hopefully you find some old Mayday Parade gold in there. Like, if there is anything, I know some keen Mayday Parade fans who'd be up for just getting their hands on any sort of memorabilia.
For sure, yeah. There's definitely a lot here, and we're gonna try our best to make use of all of it. And thanks so much for having me. And I am so sorry that I was late. Especially, I didn't realize it was a live show.
It's okay.
I feel like an idiot.
No apologies needed, my friend. We're brand new to this as well, so like it was good practice for us to be able to spitball a little bit and kill some time. So we appreciate it, my friend. Thank you ever so much for your time, and have a great day, Derek. My friends, one time, make some noise for Derek from Mayday Parade.
Thanks, guys. I'll take it easy. Look forward to seeing you soon. All right.
Hell
Cheers,
yeah!
Derek.
Thank
Have
you,
a good
Derek.
day.
All right. Bye.
Cheers, man. Oh, that was amazing.
What a nice guy.
What a fucking
story. I say that after every interview, but he was genuinely very nice.
What a story about 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge being the first song the band ever wrote. That's huge.
It's weird, isn't it, when you think about, like, because I know there's been a few bands where it's like their first ever song they wrote have been like some massive tunes. I think, I can't remember what it was, but it was one of Panic's big songs was the first song they ever wrote as well.
Just going into the studio.
Just imagine being like, I've got a little song idea.